I got to keep moving. I got to keep moving.
I've got to keep moving. I've got to keep moving. So said, year 8, Robert Johnson, the blues guitarist that was said to have sold his soul to the devil in Southern America in the early 1900s. Now, he made what's called a Faustian pact, according to legend, and some of his song titles suggest the legend could be true. Old Devil Blues, Hellhound on My Tail. Remember, the devil is often portrayed as a black dog. In fact, Mephistopheles in Christopher Marlowe's version of Faust is a black dog. Today, you'll be writing your own deal with the devil, or Faust. Surreptitious, then, what does that mean? Do you remember how Dorian Gray hides something in the attic? Surreptitious is secretive or doing something to escape notice. So how's Dorian Gray surreptitious about his portrait? I gave you a clue about 10 seconds ago. A Faust, then. Do you remember who or what was Faust? You'll remember he's the German scientist who was disappointed with his studies. Why, though? All that reading, he said, that left more to read was frustrating. He wasn't able to party, he wasn't to go out to drink, have enjoyable suppers, meet women. He devoted his life to books, yet there was ever more to learn. Faust made a deal with Mephistopheles to allow him to learn all the secrets of the universe. So, what Faustian bargain would you make surreptitiously? That's the question we're asking today. In this lesson, we're going to have a quick look at the language Oscar Wilde uses in the last section of chapter 13. We began this a couple of lessons ago, and then you'll be describing your own Faustian bargain. Before I jump over to Word and finish off chapter 13, let me give you the task. You'll be writing a scene describing your own Faustian bargain. So imagine something that's dear to you that you would give away to the devil in exchange for some musical talent. So we talk about Robert Johnson then. He is said to have founded the American blues. Legend has it he went to the Dockery plantation crossroads one night. He was told to show up with his guitar. A tall, dark man approached him, took the guitar, it's said to be the devil, tuned the guitar, played a couple of tunes, handed the guitar back, and as if by magic, Johnson could play mean blues. And it sounds fantastical, but the story becomes stranger. Did he sell his soul to the devil? Well, it's clear that he's a good guitarist. I played some of the music earlier. I hope you could have heard that. But he died in mysterious circumstances. The death certificate could find describe no cause of death. Very strange business. Here's an artist impression of him waiting for the devil to show up and tune his guitar. So the devil played a few songs, then returned the guitar to Johnson. So we're asking you again, what would you want to master in exchange for something dear to you today? It's creative writing. But before the creative writing, let's jump back over to Word and finish the Dorian Gray chapter. I'm doing this because I promised to look at the last part with you. You aren't studying the entire book, so you don't really need to know what happens. I just want to show you the rest of the chapter. We read up until the point where Dorian Gray starts to become irate. Basil, now they're in Dorian attic looking and they've just seen the portrait unveiled. Basil, though, is incredulous. It's impossible. I'm sure mildew has entered the paint and corrupted it and made the once handsome, blooming youth now seem wrinkled. He says, it has the eyes of a devil. This can't be you, Dorian, surely. Dorian claims to have hell inside him now as well as heaven. and he's been living on the hellish side. Therefore, what corruptions his body would have been subject to, with all the drinking, all the late nights, all the affairs, all the smoking, if you like, all the opium. His painting is corrupted rather than his. But Basil says, despite you being corrupted by sin, let us kneel down and try and pray. This reflects Oscar Wilde's own career. He didn't turn to Catholicism until very late in his life. And Dorian kills Basil, basically, stabs him in the neck, rushed at him and dug the knife into the great veins behind his ear. Very graphic death scene. And how quickly has it all been done? He felt strangely calm. Now, this is a very stylish bit of symbolism by Oscar Wilde. Dorian looks out. It's all quiet in the London street, save for a crimson spot, not of blood, but of a taxi that's blurred in the fog. A crimson spot of a prowling hansom, which means taxi, gleamed at the corner and then vanished. And that is the only sign of movement in the street. Dorian Gray spends the next few pages trying to dispose of the body. So that was the end of chapter 13, I promised. Back to your task. Let's leap over to PowerPoint again. So on from Robert Johnson. Remember, Dorian, what does it profit a man if he gains the world but loses his own soul? You, my friends, are gaining the world of experience or knowledge or skill, but you're losing your soul or something dear to you. So how are we going to make this Faustian pact, you're asking me? 1, think of something you want that would take a very long time to achieve. A skill, a possession, a person. Think of something dear to you that you would exchange for achieving the goal immediately. Would you exchange something valuable? Would you exchange a limb? Would you give away a person, perhaps? Describe the encounter with a strange character who makes your wish come true. In Johnson's case, the strange character was this tall, dark man, assumed by legend to be the devil. 4, describe the negative consequences of the deal. Dorian Gray lost his reputation and his conscience. What will you lose? So I had a go at this. I have decided to incorporate this idea of Crossroads. Crossroads is an American TV series that describes a few people who made Faustian pacts, and it refers to Robert Johnson's meeting at the Crossroads. The stranger, I've used a railway crossing actually. I arrived at a railway crossing at midnight. The stranger told me to meet him there with my father's war medals. That's what I'm giving away. It was my mother's dying wish that I kept these, and my sister was looking forward to exhibiting them at her cadets parade in Hastings on Remembrance Day. So, think of something you want that would take a very long time to achieve. I'll come on to that in a second. Think of something dear to exchange the medals. So my name is Chaz, and I want to be a good hang glider. Hang glider just came into my head. I cared not. I wanted to be the best hang glider in Sussex, and here was my chance. Travel, money, and equipment would all be paid for according to the stranger. So that is the something I want that will take a very long time to achieve. Hang gliding, probably quite expensive, and probably a lot of skill involved, a lot of training. But I want it now. As I gaze at the full moon, here's some gothic imagery for you. As I gaze at the full moon, imagining my glider strafing, which means traveling, across those cobweb-like clouds, I felt a cold breath against my ear. This is the stranger, just wrapped up in gothic imagery. Chaz, so let's go further forward into the idea of losing something. I describe the encounter number 3. Number 4, the negative consequences. Well, I'm losing my sister. Here we go. Chaz, where are Dad's medals? Asked Claire. She'd been searching anxiously for several minutes. I'm afraid I gave them to the devil. Claire smiled. Very funny, she said. Now put that hang gliding magazine down for 1 second and help me look. I'd be so upset if anything happened to them. So, what's going to happen to the sister? Is she going to be upset, or is she going to do something worse? You might prefer to write a script instead. They're slightly quicker to work with. You don't need to really use quotation marks. Perhaps if you are in my class, you might prefer to work in this format instead. Stranger. Ah, fancy meeting you here. Chaz. Okay, I brought the medals. Will you look after them? Stranger. That's no concern over yours. You shan't see them again. Chaz. Look, this is going to be hard on my family, you know. Stranger. Moving closer. You may lose a sister, but you're gaining the world. So choose either format, either a dialogue like this or a narrative like this. In either case, write a scene describing your own Faustian bargain. See you next time.